All right, folks, this is episode 4 of the vlog. This is my September 25 recap, and honestly, a lot of cool stuff happened this month, so I think this should be pretty good. All right, let's jump into it. September was a big month for me as an artist. I released my first new song in about a year, and this one's special to me because it's the first time I've been able to feature my brother Jered playing the guitar on one of my songs. The way it happened is kind of funny. He was looking for instrumentals to play over, and I had this old demo that I wasn't going to do anything with, so I sent it over to him, and he sent me back just this simple recording just on an iPhone of him playing over this track, and I listened to it and I was like, fuck, that is good. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have to make this a song now. Releasing the song meant posting on social media way more than I'm used to. And honestly, it's been kind of a challenge. Every time I hit publish on a post, there's this voice in the back of my head saying why would anybody care about this, right? Like I'm bothering people. Even though I know that if I had a friend that was putting themselves out there, posting about something they're passionate about and trying to build something, I'd be so supportive. I'd be incredibly happy for them, and I would just think it's so cool. So yeah, I think it's just this new thing that I'm gonna have to get used to. And sort of going off of that, the final thing I'll say on the music side of things is I want to show these 4 graphs that show the growth of the project in September on various platforms. When I look at these graphs, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. Did any one post do crazy numbers, or did the song blow up? No. But progress was absolutely made. And now the goal is just to do a little bit better next month, one step at a time. Outside of the artist project, I did some really cool Colorado stuff in September. I was literally telling my roommates at the end of August, dude, we gotta get outside and go to the mountains more. What are we doing? And they were like, all right, let's do it. And so instead of easing into it, we ended up going on some of those grueling, intense, terrifying, but also amazing hikes that I've ever been on. The most intense one that we did is what I'm about to show you. This hike had 3,000 feet of elevation gain over 2 peaks. That's climbing one mountain, going down a little bit, climbing another, and then descending all the way. The first peak was 13,967 feet, and the second peak was 13,835 feet. It does slightly bother me that the first peak wasn't a clean 14,000 feet, but what can you do? This was a class 3 mountain climb, which means on the scale of 1 to 5, you're not just hiking, you're scrambling. Which at first I was like, oh yeah, that'll be no problem. That'll be fun, actually. But once you're up there, you realize although it's not technical, it is brutal.
All right, so we're officially at the steepest part of the climb. I have this GoPro strapped to my head on a helmet, and I look goofy as hell, but it's worth it. We got some scrambling to do. We've gone up about 1,500 feet of elevation, and we have about 2,000 to go, and it's about straight up a mountain. So, yeah, it's about to get real interesting. Whew, here we go.
You're climbing for hours and hours at a high elevation, and on either side of you are drop-offs that are, just probably not survivable. At the start, it felt a bit easier than the peak that we had done the week before, so we were really confident. But as we got higher, the rocks got looser, and the terrain got steeper, and it quickly turned into a full-on grind.
Oh, should have written a will. Oh. Does anyone have a will?
I have nothing. I'm not even kidding. 97% of my money is in fucking meme coins.
I'll leave my family all my Fortnite skins.
My biggest qualm was honestly the people on all trails describing the hike as kind of spicy. My brother in Christ, flamin' hot Cheetos are kind of spicy. This was light flashing before my eyes level spicy. It took everything I had to make it to the top. I barely had enough energy to celebrate, in part because I knew that we still had another peak to climb. I had actually started feeling sick the night before this hike, but I really didn't want to miss it. So I was like, nah, it'll be okay. It was, I would say, less than okay. On the descent from the first peak, I started to fade. Going up the second, I was toast. But that's the thing, you can't stop on these hikes. The rain was moving in, and the last thing you want to be is stuck on a mountaintop in a storm. So I just had to lock in and keep moving. Reaching the second summit was less of a celebration and more just relief. It was all downhill from there. though downhill was 2 solid hours of climbing down loose microwave-sized rocks. Basically endless opportunities to twist an ankle or worse. Thankfully, everything worked out. No one got hurt, and we made it down below the tree line just before the rain started. I did get sick for a few days after, but, it was worth it. The last thing I want to cover here is this show I got to go to at this insanely cool venue called the Mishawaka, where I got to see one of my all-time favorite artists, Kasbo. What makes this venue so cool is that it is deep in the mountains. Like, you have to take like a 30-45 minute drive into the mountains just to get there, which really sets the mood for what's going to be a very special experience. What made this show even more special is that I was there with some of my best friends in the world. We were actually there to celebrate my buddy J. Cole's birthday, who lives in New York. Although we were missing a few key players, anytime we can get this group together, it is an unbelievable time. Inside the venue was super cool. It was pretty small, so it didn't feel like the crowd was overwhelming at all, but there was enough people there to make it feel exciting. And of course, at any time, you're able to look up and see this mountain looming over you, which was incredible. Once the sun had gone down, it really turned even more magical. They had these lights dancing across the mountain, which made it seem like a different world. Kasbo played a 3-hour set, which at first I was thinking might be kind of boring, but I ended up loving it. I feel like instead of a show, it became this really cool world that you got to hang out in for a while. So yeah, I think I'll wrap this up here for this episode. September was awesome. I feel very blessed that I got to do the things that I did this month. As always, thanks so much for watching. Feel free to hit like and subscribe if you'd like to follow along with the journey. And we'll see you next time.